Google recently trying to convince its users to be more confident in buying its products. Google CEO Sundar Pichai announced a new operating system update, the Android Q, at the Google I/O Developer Conference on May 7. Let's take a look at the video.
Another way we build for everyone is by ensuring that our products are safe and private, and that people have clear, meaningful choices around their data. We strongly believe that privacy and security are for everyone, not just a few.
The new operating system will feature improved privacy and security features and give mobile phone users more control over their personal data. Google has been facing public backlash on how they've been handling user data privacy. To tell us more about Big Brother and users' data privacy, I have tech editor Irene Tham with me in the studio. Welcome, Irene.
Hi.
So Irene, can you tell us what users can expect from this new update, the Android Q?
The Android Q is slated to be released later this year. It will have a dedicated privacy section where you find a lot of new features. Users can choose to let apps access their location data only when the apps are in use. There will also be another control which allows them to block apps from accessing files in external storage. And there'll be new restrictions to prevent apps from launching in the background, and also from accessing hardware devices, serial numbers. And also another measure that Google is adopting is it will not be collecting data from users and sending them to the cloud to train its AI model. So then the AI model is confined to the phone, just like how Apple does it. The user's data will be locked down on phones, and it will not be sent to the cloud to train AI models. So a couple of improvements. And I think all these, it all comes down to business models. The reason why Apple is able to do this is because it doesn't offer targeted online advertising, different from Google and Facebook. So that's why the approach have been different in the beginning, and now we're seeing Google and Facebook attending more to user privacy issues.
Okay, so we know they're attending to more privacy issues because they've been facing the public backlash on how they've been handling those features, right? Why the backlash, and what has been happening?
Right. It all started early, the intensified scrutiny started early last year when Facebook reported that it shared as many as 87 million users of its users' data with third-party firms, third-party consultancy company, Cambridge Analytica. And Cambridge Analytica has been using the data to influence people's votes during the 2016 US presidential elections. So that's the first instance. And then early this year, also with the launch of the European GDPR, which is the General Data Protection Regulation. So the French government has early this year fined Google 50 million euros for breaching very basic rules, such as not getting consent before collecting users' data, and also not being transparent and clear about how it's handling users' data. So that's how the fine came about. So these are all regulatory pressures, and also users are getting more aware of their privacy and are boycotting and putting pressure on the big tech companies to do more to protect their personal data.
Okay, I mean, you spoke about Android Q's features. There's like the incognito mode, and not sending data to their cloud for the AI, right? Are these features enough? What else can these tech giants do better?
Right. If you look at the requirements of the GDPR, I mean, it's the gold standard for data privacy protection, which a lot of nations take reference from the GDPR model. There's a requirement that gives the consumers the right to ask for their data to be erased. I don't think any of the tech giants, allow consumers to do that. But sooner or later, they might have to, because that's one of the requirements of GDPR. But I think the regulator is giving companies time to adapt, because if you look at the technology that's in place today, I don't think the technology is advanced enough, or maybe it has not been worked into existing systems to allow data to be erased, either in part or in entirety. So that's one thing that GDPR requires. There's another rule that prohibits the processing of sensitive personal data, such as race, religion, political views, and I think some tech firms are, guilty of that. I mean, they're not allowed to do that without proper justification. And then another rule requires greater transparency over how the data is shared. Like who else has access to people's personal data and what do they use it for. So greater clarity can be provided and should be provided to address this requirement in the rule, which will soon catch up with a lot of companies, including big tech companies.
Okay, so more of the regulators and the public demanding transparency, and also to opt in terms of how their data is being shared.
Yes, if not now, it will be soon, yes.
Okay, thank you, Irene, for sharing your perspective on this matter.
Thank you.
Once again, I'm Rachel. There we have it, and this is our top stories of the day. For more news and videos, head on to straitstimes.com. Join us again, same time tomorrow, for more top stories on the big story.